Hello everyone, we're at the Real World AI Summit and I have the CTO of Messari with me. Welcome.
Thank you.
Remind me again of your name, I'm sorry.
Diran, good to
Diran.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What was your name?
My name is Rick.
Rick.
Yes, I'm doing the interviews here today. Maybe first question. Tell me a bit more about yourself, but also about Messari.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Diran, the CTO at Messari. A little bit about myself. Spent most of my career in data analytics. So started at Microsoft, spent a bunch of years at Palantir, and then I met the founder of Messari back in 2018, Ryan, and the idea of bringing transparency into the crypto space with research and really good data analytics to help institutions and protocols drive better decision making really appealed to me. So joined as the first engineer, and now 7.5 years later, here we are.
Oh, wow, you were early. That's cool. That's cool. What inspired the team and yourself as well to build Messari to what it is right now?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, back in 2018, and I really started dabbling in 2017. I spent most of my nights and weekends in crypto, just building stuff. Um, and I just really felt like the data was super sparse, spending too much time on crypto Twitter figuring out what is happening. But also there's a sense of, like back then was the ICO craze, investing with white paper, and just a sense of not knowing what you can trust and what not. And all of my years, I've been working a lot with data, and I wanted to have a place where you have data about the 360 of the space and truly just understand what's happening without having to know, oh, there's this pothole that I need to avoid, and really bring a level of professionalism so that institutions and enterprises have a much easier time bridging the gap with protocols.
I think there's definitely something highly needed in our industry where transparency sometimes is hard to find and you have to go and dig in different holes to find an answer to whatever you're looking for. So I think it's great what Masari has been building. I'm wondering, what are you focusing on right now? How are you expanding the platform and the data collection?
Yeah, we're doing a lot in the AI space these days because what we notice is for 7 years we've aggregated a lot of data, and but most of the data sits below the waterline in deep in the iceberg. But with AI, it's the perfect conduit to surface any data that a given user will need and want. So we're investing a lot in how do we take a lot of the data that we have, that we create through research, that we curate, but also we ingest from various sources. How do we make sense of that for both protocols? For example, protocols, I want to get a sense of what my ecosystem is doing. For example, in Solana, Deepin, what are the top protocols in Deepin? How are they doing? What is growing? For institutions, it's about exchanges. We work a lot with exchanges on how do I list more assets? How do I monitor these assets? What is a true like good asset and what is a scam? But also like security hacks, chain halts, anything that's major that's happening in the industry, we just want to push it out to the user so that if you have a need to consume that insight, we'll tell you why. And the why is very important. Like the price goes up, the price goes down, it's just a number, but we all want to know what's driving behind it.
That's awesome. I love those ecosystem maps that you guys are posting on Twitter. For example, the Solana or Deepin
Yes.
one. They're very recognizable, noticeable, and they give a great overview of different ecosystems. So I think you guys should continue doing that for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, moving forward, what would be a successful next 2 years for Messari?
Well, I think it's very clear that the TradFi space and the crypto space are merging together. Equities are coming together with crypto, and at the end of the day, it's just financial assets. So we want to help both sides of the equation. We want to help institutions get a lot more comfortable with crypto protocols, um, get the insights, the information, but also the diligence and research that they need to drive investment vehicles into crypto.
Yeah.
But on the other side too, we want to help protocols. want to help protocols grow, want to help protocols understand the ecosystem that they're working with, but also at the end of the day, bridge the gap between what the protocols are building with their end users and the institutions that are coming in, because that really creates a level of legitimacy, professionalism, and maturity to the industry. And hopefully in 2 years, we get to help bring more maturity into the industry, and ultimately that translates to better user experiences and greater adoption.
And since we are at the Real World AI Summit, but by my knowledge, Messari is an online platform, are you also somehow focusing on real world AI or real world crypto?
Me personally, I have a a deep relationship with the hard tech side of things, much more related to my past experiences. So, me personally, I would love to get more growth in physical AI, because we're seeing AI is here and it's permeating everywhere, but it's also been compounding for many years. So healthcare, for example, we're getting better diagnostics because of AI, mammograms. We're getting the start of surgery done by AI, Neuralink. We have autonomous driving vehicles. We have bots that are boxing each other. I would love nothing more than having greater adoption in physical AI. And I think the question mark there is, how do we help facilitate a financial guardrails through crypto,
Yeah.
and bridge the two worlds? And I think it's still very nascent, but very interesting.
Talking about bridging the two worlds, we talk a lot about crypto, AI, deepen, and how these are all merging together. But one issue that pops up is trust. And I think Messari, with the all the data they provide, trust is something that can be gained. But how can our industry solve the trust issue better?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to both sides of the equation. On one side is disclosures of, we're an industry that I think fundamentally the blockchain is an open system. So the more that we can embrace the openness, the more that we can have better disclosures of what projects are doing, what are they doing with the capital, how the capital is being managed, how the community's investment is actually translating into a roadmap that has tangibility to it, the more people are going to trust the ecosystem versus the pump and dump, the rug pulls, and just I raise a ton of money and then I'm off to Bali.
Yeah.
And I think on the other side is meeting the regulators where they are as well, is working with regulators for very clear, crisp regulation on how to operate in crypto. And that sort of gives a really good canvas into which all of the crypto protocols can draw in. Because without regulation, it's very hard to know what is the right way of doing things. But bad regulation also gives the wrong incentives. So we want to work with regulators to make sure that we have the right rules and regulations in place so that we can thrive as an industry, but also bridge the world with TradFi and Wall Street and institutions.
Last question. We are here at the Real World AI Summit. And let's say 5 years from now, when we look back at this event, what do you hope that what innovation this event brings?
Well, I think we're only scratching the surface in physical AI. And physical AI, I think fundamentally there is probably a little bit of a stark contrast to just online virtual tokens, for example. Physical AI is hard tech. So I think that's something that the crypto industry, we need to realize that hard tech takes time, takes effort, and it's not a quick, easy way of making money. So I think hopefully in a couple years we realize that we've set the groundwork for really impactful innovations, and in 5 years AI is just going to be completely different. And we're already seeing a lot of the groundswells on the physical AI coming into life. I hope in 5 years we get to actually have like real world day-to-day interaction with some physical AI. Maybe that's wishful thinking there, but like the speed that things are developing, anything's possible.
Things are moving so fast. Thank you very much for the interview. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, let's see where physical AI is going the next few years.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.